They're about to have supers too, although I'm halfway back to a super now. I got both your orbs here, buddy. Where's he gonna play it? Oh, he's gonna wait for his supers. He'll get his before I get mine, probably. There, or is he here? Ah, I saw him. Got it! Oh boy. Hey, what's up guys? Pattycakes here. I wanted to make a quick video covering my thoughts on Trials of Osiris so far, and also share just a couple of highlights from the last few weeks. I'm sure you've already seen a lot of videos about the state of Trials of Osiris, and I think I probably agree with most of what you've seen. But I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about the mode so far, and so I thought it was worth making a quick video. It's really unfortunate that the population seems to be dwindling each week after we waited so long for Trials to come back, and I really hope it's not too late for them to turn things around. My experience in a nutshell is that each week has been slightly harder than the previous week due to a combination of disconnects, cheaters, and a concept called skill creep that my friend Ascendant Nomad made a great video and Reddit post about. I'll link it in the description in case you haven't seen it yet. Essentially, since the minimum requirement to get a piece of Trials loot to drop is to win 3 games, there will always be some teams each week who just aren't able to pull off those 3 wins before losing their card, and after enough unsuccessful attempts, they'll just stop trying. So then the bottom section of this skill totem pole, so to speak, gets chopped off and the population of players is a little bit smaller than the previous week. Then the next lowest skill group, who was previously only able to win games against that lower skill group, can't beat anyone anymore, so they stop bothering to play as well. This effect keeps happening week after week until the only people left standing are tournament winning players, paid recovery players, and cheaters, and the mode is effectively dead for most of the community. To add to this, since the shotgun, which happens to be the best item in the loot pool, only required 3 wins to unlock during week 2, there's a bunch of high skill players who only play until they get 3 wins and then they keep resetting their cards over and over again to increase their chances at a perfect shotgun roll. So the frequency of these lower skill players getting stomped is even worse than it would be ordinarily. It's really unfortunate because at its core, I think Trials is really fun. I've had a great time playing the mode despite the fairly frequent disconnects and cheater problems, and overall I still look forward to it each weekend. So how would I go about fixing Trials if I was in charge? I think the core issue here is the loot incentive for casual players. Bungie needs to immediately add some way for players to feel like it's worth their time to play even if they get stomped on all weekend long and rarely get a win. I think the easiest way to accomplish this is to have weekly bounties that drop Trials loot on completion and only require cumulative wins so that even if it takes a while, they can eventually get their loot. Changing this will immediately boost participation from more casual players, which is by far the largest section of the community. The next main issue I see is that there's not currently a strong enough reward for wins 4 through 7, especially if you have already taken a loss or 2 on your card and can't go flawless on that particular run. This means that the average to good level players are typically resetting their cards after a single loss instead of playing the whole card out, and this in turn adds even more difficulty to those casual players who are just trying to get their first 3 wins for loot. I think the best way to fix this is to have the number of tokens you receive from each win grow based on how many total wins you have on the card. This way, playing out those games 4 through 7 are worth your time to farm tokens even if your hope for a flawless run on that particular card is dead. Ideally, additional rewards like enhancement cores and prisms would also start dropping from those later wins, and that would incentivize sticking with a flawed card for even longer. And the final issue I see here is that if we do change the loot structure as I suggested, the flawless loot will become even less meaningful than it is already. For most players who are routinely going to the lighthouse, I think the actual loot is less important than the clout of showing off that you're a really good player. This is where the cosmetic department should really shine. We need to have adept versions of the weapons that have some special ornament or cool design to make them stand out from the rest, and maybe some additional armor ornaments as well. Most of the best players I know would do just about anything to get cool cosmetics that are exclusive to show off their skill level. On top of this current lack of cosmetic incentives, the actual loot reward from the flaws chest needs to be buffed a bit as well, so that it's more in line with the difficulty of running a 1030 level Nightfall. You can farm most Nightfalls comfortably in about 10 to 20 minutes, which is just way more rewarding than a flawless Trials card in a loot per hour comparison. Plus, Nightfalls don't put you up against cheaters and constant disconnects that will ruin your whole card. The topic of cheaters is a big one and probably worth its own video. My one simple suggestion here, at least for PC, is that if anyone has a VAC ban on their Steam account, they shouldn't be able to queue into Trials. I'm not a developer and I don't know how difficult that is to set up, but it seems like a pretty fair trade considering the game is free to play. Ideally, I'd also love to see hardware bans for players that are caught cheating, and a paywall implemented so that players need to own at least one season before they can play Trials. So I think that covers the basics. As I mentioned, I've had a really good time overall playing Trials, and it makes me really sad to see such a beloved game mode feel like it's about to lose a massive amount of players. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you enjoying Trials so far, or not really playing much? Let me know below in the comments. By the way, I was fortunate enough to get a beta key for the upcoming tactical shooter Valorant, and I'll be streaming the beta this Tuesday, April 7th, and probably making some YouTube videos for it as well. I'm really excited for this game, so let me know if you're interested in seeing me create some videos about it. You can catch me playing live over at twitch.tv/pattycakespc. And finally, if you are looking for a Trials of Osiris fire team, we've been doing a lot of work in my community Discord to make it a solid LFG area to find teammates. We have players of all platforms inside, and there's over 1,000 members now, so be sure to join up if you're looking for some friends to play with. There's a link in the description to check it out. That's all for now. Catch you guys next time.